Welcome to the Get Published podcast, sponsored by Brodie Consulting Group. To get more information about our coaching, publishing, executive ghostwriting, and podcast production services, go to getpublishedpodcast.com. Hello, I am Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we're being joined by Laura Muensterer, author of Freebird. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me, Paul. It's great to be here.
How did I do in that pronunciation?
You did a great job. I'm very impressed.
All right, I did my best. Well, Laura, we're excited to have you on the show, and if you're ready, we would love to get started.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, question number one. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
Yeah, I think number one advice is to not care about what other people think. I think that has been the biggest thing for me because I have always been a people pleaser and I've always kind of cared about people's views of me. And whenever you're writing, you can't think about other people's opinions. You really don't. You just have to solely be in the moment, stay present, and just focus on your creativity and focus on your story. And by doing that, it's going to turn out way better than if the whole time you're just wondering, oh no, what are people going to say about this? What are they going to think about this? And when I was writing my book, I really had to detach from society in a way and just solely focus on me and my kind of experience to make it as authentic as possible.
And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
Finding someone who believes in your vision. I was actually very fortunate to find my publisher just by chance. I posted a job about reformatting my book, and once we started talking, he mentioned he's an independent publisher. And I am so grateful that we found each other in this kind of by chance accident because he's been a great partner. And before I found him, I really didn't know where to start. I didn't know who was going to believe in me. And to be honest, I was afraid. I didn't want to have to let go of my creativity. And now that I have him, I feel very confident that I have a partner who really believes in me, my creativity, and is not trying to take advantage of me in any way.
Well, let's talk about marketing. So please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that has worked well.
Yeah, so when I first self-published about a year ago, to be honest, my main strategy was Instagram. What I would do, my book was actually inspired by a book by Rupi Kaur, and so she was kind of my whole motivation for this. So what I would do is I would find her followers, and I would message them and say, hey, would you like a free copy in exchange for a review? And luckily, I actually got almost 10 reviews without investing any money, and they were some really awesome reviews. And this was all just 10 to 15 minutes a day. This person likes Rupi. Our books are kind of similar in a sense, and so I was like, why not? And quite a few people ended up helping me out, and I am still very grateful to this day that they, took the time to write that review and to give me that chance.
So basically, you're talking about well-known authors in your niche, and then reaching out to people that liked or comment on their posts on Instagram. Correct.
So since Rupi has a huge following, that she was kind of my main one. But yeah, so basically I knew that our books were similar. They had a very similar style. And so I would go to her followers list and then pick some people out that I thought looked like, hey, they might like my book, and just message them. And of course, many people don't respond, but the few who did ended up reading it and writing a really great review for me.
So how many people did you reach out to?
Oh man, I'd say maybe around 100 to 200, which sounds like a lot, but I could message about 13 at a time. So it really didn't take me too long to get to that number.
And then was it like the same type of email? So it was basically a cut and paste message going, hey, my name's this, I had this book, it's very similar to what this person's done. Would you be cool with leaving a review?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just copy and paste. I actually use this program. It's called Flume. You can download it to your desktop for free, at least for a Mac you can. And so it was very easy. So I didn't have to be on my phone. I could just copy and paste on my desktop, go through the list. And so, yeah, 10 to 15 minutes a day. It really doesn't take you very long to reach quite a few people.
Well, it sounds like it's like a mail merge program, right?
I'm not sure what that is.
Basically, it's one of those things where you can actually have a pre-formatted message, utilize a spreadsheet, and you merge everything over. So kind of, it sounds similar to what you were utilizing, just probably different software.
Right. Well, yeah, so Flume itself is mostly just Instagram for your desktop, basically. Like you're able to manage your Instagram, on your desktop.
Nice. And is that the free program, or is there a service involved in that? Service fee?
No, it's free. It's
Nice.
totally free. And I will say now that I have republished my book, I'm actually working with a PR firm. It's called Full Scale Media, and I've gotten in a few articles. So that's kind of my new strategy, is trying to get some PR.
Well, speaking of books, let's talk about your favorite book. So what is your favorite book, and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
Yeah, so to be honest, I feel like every book touches me in a different way, but a book that I have recently finished that I really like is Awakening to Your Life's Purpose by Eckhart Tolle. He's kind of this like spiritual leader. I'm a very spiritual person. And it's just been so powerful for me because one of his key insights that he shares is all about, purpose, obviously. So according to him, our inner purpose is basically to be conscious, to be self-aware, mindful, and present in everything we do. And then once we have achieved our inner purpose, our outer purpose, which can be a variety of things, it just is like a happy outcome, basically. So since learning this insight, I feel a lot lighter now because I know that as long as I'm conscious, mindful, self-aware, present in everything I do, my life will have purpose. And obviously, we all want our life to have purpose. And even though, I have this book, I've had a career, it's still always been something that I've questioned. And Eckhart Tolle is definitely an amazing author. I highly recommend him, especially if you are spiritual and if you're interested in topics such as like the ego and learning more about that.
And for a final question, what is your favorite quote and why?
Yeah, so the first one that comes to mind, it's actually on one of the first few pages of my book. It's by Seth Adam Smith, and the quote is, "You can't defeat the darkness by keeping it caged inside of you." And I think this quote is so powerful because I think many of us are conditioned to ignore our darkness, pretend it's not there. But it's only once we express our sadness, fear, self-doubt, and insecurities that we are truly freed from them, which is basically the whole theme and concept of my book.
Well, Laura, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. What is the best way for people to find you online?
Yeah, so there's actually multiple ways. So if you're on Instagram, my handle is a free bird flies, all just one word. You can also visit my website. It's currently under construction, and it is Laura, Laura, and then my last name is Muensterer.com, and you can also search Laura Muensterer on LinkedIn.
Well, Laura, I want to thank you once again for being on the show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
Thank you so much. It's been great talking with you.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how you can be featured in our brand new Get Published business book, go to getpublishedpodcast.com.